Hi, welcome to the status and to-do list. Okay, in this video, I'm going to catalog all of the things that are in the works. Many things have been put on the back burner because other items of high priority have come to the foreground. For example, I was working on new magnetism before when I realized, this is like going back 6 months, that magnetism is suffering from a reference frame issue and I have to go re-explore and that's why transvariance came to the forefront, because I needed to now to get that out of the way. That became a higher priority dependency because of the work on magnetism, to understand what the reference frame of magnetism should be, and that helped open up some doors that I didn't have before, because when I looked at all the Michelson-Morley stuff before, I thought physicists had figured it all out, and when I went back and looked with an animation, I figured out they did not figure it all out. There's lots of stuff that was undone. Excuse me. So after we go through and comment, or not comment, catalog all of the things that are on the back burner that I've promised that have kind of gotten pushed to the back, and catalog all it, then I'm going to go on outline what the near-term plan is, what I'm foreseeing for the near-term future of what is the priority of work is and what we're going to be working on. Okay, and also all of the releases are listed by who they're going to be released to, where Y is everyone, that's YouTube plus all of Patreon. P is just the Patreon supporters and above. PP is Patreon passengers and above. P1 is Patreon first class and above. PE is, and you can read the list. I've also improved the Patreon tier benefits. I've added more things to the first class passengers, and I'm going to publish that more detailed list of all of the tier benefits for the Patreon side. I didn't remove anything. All I've done is added more things, so it's no one's losing anything here. Okay, so the other thing, that the first part of things that are on the back burner, well, not back burner, but things that just come to the foreground as things that have gone onto the list of things to do, are requests. And the first one is a synopsis of Ethereal Mechanics from people at work that are starting to get interested in this. You know, they see my videos and they're like, "Whoa, hey, you know, you're talking about all this vortex algebra, and I'm totally lost as where this all fits in the big picture." And I realized, I started thinking about that. I was going to do a little quickie, but then I decided, you know what? Let me do that after the gravity production is complete, because this gravity production coming up, Ethereal Mechanics gravity, I'm intending to make lots and lots and lots of animations. And it'd be nice to make little synopsis videos with little snippets of all those animations. So I'm going to hold off on the synopsis of Ethereal Mechanics until after the gravity push is done. And then there was another Patreon member that wanted a video on the effects of 5G on human health. That's not going to be hard to make. I'll squeeze that in as soon as I can, but I'm not going to officially put it on the list. And then there was a request to upgrade software physics with Weber's equation and release that. I have to look into that some more. I'm not so crazy about Weber's equation. Maybe Gauss's equation would be better, but you know, I'll talk to that with the person that requested it. Okay, because of the recent release in work done on Weber's equation and Gauss's equation, I have found that there are more functions are needed for vortex algebra, namely the matrix dot product and matrix cross product. Plus, I improved the vortex sine functions and the vortex cosine functions. Those have all been updated and added to the vortex software in the form of new functions, and I will have to produce a video to explain the new functions, and I'll obviously be releasing the updated software. There was also a request for applications of vortex algebra. That's cool that we've actually been applying vortex algebra to other research areas. It's pretty cool. I'll show that. I don't know when that's going to be in there. That's kind of low down on the list right now, but vortex is going to come more to the forefront when we get into gravity. Okay, light. I promised a video to the patronage of how polarizers work, and I started producing that. And unfortunately, in order for you to understand how that works, it's better if I produce first a new electromagnetism model of light, which I have not released to anyone yet. Okay, now the new electromagnetism model of light that I have is a boundary equation. It's a boundary condition. More appropriately, it's a solution to the wave equation. Where's my list? Control P is pointer. Hold on. Okay. And Ethonics. That's where we're going to actually develop the wave equation, the waves on the ether. Ethonics is the behavior of just the ether itself, okay, which would be light and gravity. And this is where we're going to develop the wave equation for light. Okay, a solution to the wave equation is new induction, but it needs a little bit of augmentation before it's useful as a wave equation. That's what's going to be in here. For reasons I'll explain in the video. Once you understand these, then we can apply this to show you beautifully how polarizers work, how diffraction works, and all that other stuff. Okay, so I'm putting this on the back burner because I really need to release this first. Okay, but I don't want to do this until I get done with the gravity paper. Okay, this is going to be a release of some very important stuff, and I want to make sure that this is covered by copyright before I release this. Okay, because this is going to be an important linchpin of Ethereal Mechanics. Okay, and the order of that we're releasing stuff, we already have the transvariance stuff done. I still owe the patronage the transvariance videos that describe stuff with releases only for Patreon members. And then the gravity production is going to be next. And that's when then we're going to do new electromagnetism and get that wrapped up. Hopefully by the end of summer, if not Thanksgiving, I'm looking to get this all wrapped up. And then this will have the new electromagnetism model of light will be included here. After that, then we can release the how polarizers work. And then we go into pretonics. And once we're done with pretonics, then ethonics would be the final book I'm expecting right now of Ethereal Mechanics. These might be end of 2020, or beginning of 2021, I don't know. But I'm looking to get to all of this before the end of 2019 here. So that's my objective. Okay, we have some experiments in the works. We have the non-ferrous magnet experiment. I'm set up, and the garage is starting to get warm, so I may be able to knock this one out pretty soon. And then I want to start getting into the railgun project and get that done over my summer break as part of, I think I'm going to use it as part of the research for new electromagnetism for the final parts of magnetism. Because right now it looks like I still believe there's a missing piece to the magnetism. If there is, the railgun project is going to show it. So I think that's probably, I was hoping to get the missing piece of magnetism done before the railgun project, so I have a higher confidence of meeting the design objectives, okay, which would be 200 joules, okay, but I think right now I'm going to go the other way and just build it using existing new electromagnetism and see if we don't get the energy out that we expect. That would mean that would prove that there are a missing component. If not, it might mean we have everything. Well, we'll see. Okay, and then the radiometer experiment. Now there's going to be two videos. I'm going to have a little up-to-date one that's just going to give a little caveat of things that happened, little things that people said, and little experiments that were done. But ultimately, this is going to be a big job because we need to actually get a bell jar and do this right, because there's a lot of things that don't add up in this radiometer, the Crookes radiometer. And then the magnet scanner, I don't know when we're going to get to that. That's kind of a lower priority thing. This is probably going to be something that's going to be very necessary when we get to ethonics, because I think I found a very interesting thing about magnetic fields. But we'll talk about that later. And then as a final thing, after we're all done with everything else, is we're just going to complete these for fun. I don't think they're going to teach us anything. All the other stuff should give us all the answers, and these should just be the icing on the cake. That's what I'm looking at there. Okay, like I said, transvariance, there's still 5 videos in the pipeline that parallel the paper, which is already released. And it's going to be for Patreon members, passengers and above. And it's going to contain some unreleased material that I did not have in the paper. And that's for Patreon members only. And then the next big push is Ethereal Mechanics gravity paper. And I'm going to be going very heavy on animations with this. Okay, very, very heavy, because I was very happy how the animations came out for transvariance. So it pays for me to put a lot of time. And I already have some of the animations that were made for the EMV video series. I just got to resurrect them and make them more up to date. Okay, so Um, so the full paper is in the works. It's going to be reviewed at the engineer level. I'm looking for early release for first class reviewers. I'm sorry, for early release for first class passengers and later for everyone. And I'm looking for this everyone release, hopefully midsummer. Okay, and then we're gonna have, after that, we're gonna start making the Ethereal Mechanics gravity videos. This is gonna be a video for everybody to let everybody know what's going on. I may do the intro video later because I'm gonna use all the animations from all of the videos with simulation. So, we'll see how it goes. I want to have the intro videos a little bit more animations than we do. And then as these videos go on, I may release certain videos as teasers. And a big breakthrough happened. One of the final pieces of the gravity. I finally figured out where all the dark matter is. Oh my goodness. It is so ridiculously simple, you're not going to believe it. All the answers are right in front of our face, but we humans are too stupid to see them. It's amazing. I almost floored when it dawned on me where all the dark matter is. It's so funny. But anyway, we'll get to there when we get to there. The Four Horsemen videos, these for the most part are going to be not in the exact form that they were, but their content is going to be absorbed into the gravity production. Okay, the other videos that are still like on my list of things to do when I'm not making progress is completing rules of acquisition, how to use your retarded monkey brain. This is kind of related to rules of acquisition because rules of acquisition, it's one of those things where I developed this because I realized I kind of need what the Ferengis have, a little things mantras to say, like if there's ambiguity, we don't have the most complete model. Things like that, things that tell me things, and that's kind of related to the problems with our brains, how the problems I found with the human brain, things that hold us back, which are totally stupid. Okay, and then this thing that's bothering me recently is all these people that want to throw out the Electoral College in the U.S. election. And people don't realize the whole purpose of the Electoral College is to guard against corruption and election rigging. Okay, so these people that want it, obviously, they're not looking at the reasons why these things were put in place. And I can do it with a simple basketball analogy. This one actually be fun. I don't know. I'll get to that if I get time. And then I want to make another, Fire All Physicists video where we're going to look at stagnation of science caused by the reversed inventive system they work under. And then Philip the cat. I know I got a K instead of a C, but I've been getting requests from people that they want to see a little bit more Philip. And he's a very interesting character, and I think a couple videos on him won't hurt. They're easy to make, so they're not going to be a big drag of time. And then there's these projects around the house that I need to get done. Like, for example, I got a solar diversion control. I've come up with an interesting way to drive solar panels so you can collect energy on cloudy days. Unfortunately, it requires me to play with the power in a certain way so that on a sunny day it doesn't destroy my solar inverter. Okay, so this is one of these Arduino projects that's already designed. I just need time to build it and test it. Solar battery automatic watering contraption. One of the problems of having an off-the-grid system is you got to constantly put water in the batteries, and I need to develop a means to reduce the time spent on that. Making purified water is also important. And I coffee trees. I think people might be interested. It's very interesting. Coffee trees are strange creatures. I've had some wind damage to the house. It turns out my north wall of the house is completely unsupported, and I got a lot of cracking going on. And I need to do some. And it's very interesting because it follows all the laws of physics. It's really cool. I can show you by how the wallboard cracks. You can figure out what's going on inside your walls. So I got some cracking wallboard. I blew some tile shingles off the roof. They got the roof repaired. I'll be putting a new roof on this summer. Not me. I'm going to have somebody else do it. And then there's also, they come out with these little thermal imaging camera parts that you can build a low-cost thermal imaging camera. I'd like to do a little video on that because I think that would be fun. So the near-term priorities is I got a little addendum video to the radiometer. It's not the final one. And I want to complete the non-ferrous magnet stuff to show you there's really nothing big to deal about that. And then the big background item is get the gravity thing going, gravity production looking for a midsummer release. And Also, I'm getting to the point where I think I need to do with new magnetism what I did for new induction. If any of those people don't remember, for new induction, I actually designed a software algorithm that would search over 45,000 different ways, different geometries of which way a magnetic field could be, and it came back spherical. Okay, I think I need to do the same thing for new magnetism because I'm thinking, based on what I looked at with the Weber stuff, there could be lots and lots and lots of different combination of terms that give us the same answer when you constrain them to wire structures. And so to be fair, I really need to come up with a way to search all different types of vortex geometries to see how many different ones could possibly match experiment. And then from there, going to disambiguate. That's what we had to do for new induction. For those people that were with me 20 years ago, but this is going to be a bigger job. Because for new induction, all I had to do was search and match induction experiments. For this one, I'm going to have to do, parallel wire cores. I'm going to have to do moving wire cores. I'm going to have to like 5 or 6 different, experimental setups are going to have to be modeled with each one of the models. It's going to be a fair bit of software, but I can't see any other way because it's just my human brain is too small to possibly think of all the permutation. So have the computer do it. Why not? Okay, and so I'd like to get new electromagnetism wrapped up by late summer. And in between then, do videos like the rules of acquisition, get them. I'd like to get the rules of acquisition squared away by the end of this year as well, at least version 4. So that's my near-term priorities. Thank you very much. Please make any requests in the comments section. If there's something I missed, like there's something I promised to do a while back, but I never got to it, and it's something you're really interested in, please remind me of it here. Because I know I've made a lot of the things I thought I was going to do, and then things just get moved around on me. I want to put them on the to-do list and keep the to-do list up to date, and go over the to-do list maybe every 6 months or so to make sure I got all the things I promised to do. And again, any requests for anything else you want, please put in the comment section. This video is only going out to Patreon. I don't want all the requests of the world on YouTube, just Patreon members, so I can keep it in the family, as it were. Thank you very much.